In 2017, I started to work for this blockchain project. I thought it would be about coding, but in the end, journalists, the police, and even the FBI got involved. It almost ruined my career in the blockchain industry, and I almost didn't get paid. Hey, if you don't know me, I'm Julien, and on EatTheBlocks, I teach blockchain development. Before I got into blockchain, me and my ex-partner used to run an e-commerce business. We were doing dropshipping, buying from China and selling to Europe and the US. At some point, we were making 50K per month, so everything was going pretty well until our SEO started to tank and our revenue started to drop and we started to have some argument. Until one day, my ex-business partner sent me this breakup email where he basically said that I was never part of the business and that I needed to leave the company. The problem is that all the company was under his name and our agreement to make me a partner was just oral, so I was just basically screwed. I remember very well that night. I couldn't sleep. I woke in the city the whole night, full of anger. 2 years of my life wasted. That was terrible. A few days later, I started to think, okay, what do I want to do next? I didn't want to continue with e-commerce because I wasn't really excited by that. But there was this new thing I saw a couple of times, blockchain, and it looked really exciting. So I started to read everything about blockchain. I read that book, Mastering Bitcoin of Andrea Antonopoulos, and I was so fascinated by it. I really believe blockchain could save the world, make it more decentralized, more fair, more open. With my background in finance and programming, I felt like it was a perfect fit for me. And in this industry, I could probably find a remote job with a good salary. So I decided to change the direction of my career and work in the blockchain industry. Just a few weeks later, I went to a blockchain meetup and I got really lucky. I met this guy who was doing his blockchain project. He was looking for a developer and he liked me right away. So he introduced me to his partner and I still remember that day. So we went to their co-working space. That was on a Sunday, so everything was dark except the office, and I still remember the glow of all the mining equipment. It just looked really cool. So I got introduced to his partner. They both liked me and they just hired me on the spot. They asked me how much I wanted to be paid. I said my number and they didn't even try to negotiate. They just accepted right away. At that time they were doing their ICO and they were raising about $30,000 every day, so it kind of looked like magic money for them, and it seems like they didn't really care about the expenses. The whole thing seems surreal to me. Before that, as a web developer, I always struggled to find good customers who pay well. But with these guys, everything was so easy, it's as if I was in another world. Unfortunately, the honeymoon with this project ended pretty fast. First, I wasn't given much work, nobody was checking what I was doing. I felt kind of useless, it was a bit weird. Then problems started to come. We got kicked out of our co-working space. Officially, it was because we didn't pay the electricity bill for our mining equipment, but I discovered later it's because this project was suspected to be a fraud. Some friends in the co-working space also started to tell me that they had some doubt about the project. At that time, I was so happy to have found this new freelance project, especially after all the drama I went through with my e-commerce business just before. So I didn't really want to listen to other people. But still, I started to worry a little bit about this project. After we got kicked out of the co-working space, tension started to grow between the two co-founders of the project. One of them was a developer and the other one was more of a business guy. The developer was the one who controlled the wallet of the ICO with all the money from investors. And the business guy started to ask for a larger and larger amount of money for a couple of business expenses. And that's when the developer started to be suspicious of his partner and he told me about it. From that time, I started to feel really uncomfortable. So I did some research about these guys and it seems like both of them came from the MLM industry. MLM means multi-level marketing and it's kind of a shady industry. So it doesn't mean that everybody in LMM is a scammer, but usually it's not really a good sign if you find that someone has a background in this. Even though I made all of these discoveries, I didn't want to let go of my dream. I still wanted to believe that I found a good blockchain gig that would last for a long time and launch my career in the blockchain industry. If only I knew what was about to come. As we were getting towards the end of the ICO, the tension between the two co-founders started to get bigger and bigger. The business guy kept asking for more and more money from the wallet of the ICO, and the developer guy in control of the ICO wallet kept refusing. I was doing everything to try to diffuse the tension and make them trust each other because I really wanted this project to keep going. At some point, we made an ultimate attempt to solve the problem. We went to a coffee shop with me and the two co-founders, and it was a total shit show. They kept arguing with each other, fighting, and nothing came out of this meeting. After that, the argument went public, and it really started to escalate between the two co-founders. On Facebook, there were two groups of people, one that supported the developer guy and another group that supported the business guy. And me, I was caught in the middle. Each of them wanted me to keep working for them, saying that the other one was a fraud. There was some threat, they sued each other, at some point the FBI even got involved. And I was also contacted by a journalist who asked me what was going on in this project. It was clear that at this point, my dream of starting my blockchain career with this project failed. If I really wanted to work in blockchain, I would need to find another project. So finally, I accepted this fact and I left the project. After I left this project, I really wondered, do I really want to keep working in the blockchain industry? Well, at that time in 2017, right in the middle of the ICO era, it just seemed like blockchain would be full of this bullshit project. That's when I remember what got me interested in blockchain at the first place. I wanted to change the world, make it more fair, more decentralized, more open, and blockchain seems like the right tool to do it. I also wanted to have a good salary and find a remote job. Blockchain was booming. And I knew it would be much easier to find a remote job if I specialized in something like blockchain as opposed to if I was a generic web developer. So I decided to keep going in the blockchain industry and be a little bit more careful next time I join a project. I will need to do some research on the company, the founders, to make sure that everything is legit. If you enjoyed this story and you are thinking of starting your journey in the blockchain industry, you can check out this video where I explain how you can become a blockchain developer. I will see you there.